Hello guys, this is Rachel from 3rd CSE and today I'm going to be explaining my fifth exercise in case tools lab. So my fifth exercise is state chart diagram. Before I move on to my questions, I'll explain a bit about state chart diagram. A state diagram is also called as a state machine diagram or a state chart diagram, is an illustration of the states an object can attain as well as the transition between those states in the unified modeling language. So basically what a state chart diagram is just like the different states of an object, and it is illustrated, and the transitions are written between are different between each state. So this is what a state chart diagram basically looks like. And my first question here is to draw the state chart diagram for the following problem statement. An organization's customers may have complaints about its products. They will be given an email ID for each product where they can send a mail when they have a complaint to the register. The emails will get converted to complaints and get assigned to the persons handling that product. The complaints can be assigned to different persons and will get tracked to closure. The person handling the complaint will have the facility to communicate with the customer via the emails through the system. So this is basically about a shopping organization, or like a complaint system where the customers can send their complaints to a particular organization with the help of an email ID. So how I'm going to do this in a state transition diagram is like this. Okay, so basically this is going to be my initial state. So initial state is when the basic initial state is like gonna represent my first state, organization. So in organization I have the following conditions, like the entry condition is going to be to receive a particular order, or it could either receive an order or it could receive a complaint and a feedback. And the exit condition is going to be to be the delivery of that particular order. So what happens is like when is the transition made between the organization state and the customer state is when deliver the product to the customer. When this particular action takes place, this is the transition that helps to move from the state organization to the state customer. So what happens is like, so when an organization is to deliver the product to a customer, then it moves to the state customer. So once the product is being delivered, the entry action would be to receive the product, and what this particular state does is like to check the product for any faults or defaults, and exit action is going to be provide complaint or feedback, or exit to pay for the object. So if there is a complaint or feedback, then that again would be sent to the organization, and if it is a payment, then again that is sent to the organization. So if the customer, so what happens is like the user is going to use the product's mail ID to send a complaint to the organization, and the organization will receive it. So it can either be that, or the customer can choose to again use the product's mail ID to make a payment. So what happens is like this is called as a choice point. So it can either divide in two choices, like either it can take this route or this route. So if a complaint is received, then what happens is like the customer sends the organization sends a customer's complaint to something called a complaint handler, and the complaint handler again this chain is called synchronization. So what happens is like the complaint, basically whatever complaint is received is being handled by these different complaint handlers. So the complaint can either be based on the make, or it can be based on the packaging, or it can be based on a complaint based on delivery. So basically this will help to give different complaints, and so the complaint is handled, and finally it will reach the final state. This is the final state. So if it is going to be a payment, so the customer just has to make the payment, and the payment is made using this payment object, and the process is complete. So this one here is called as a flow final. So it basically denotes that after this there is not going to be any other transition like to another different state. It just directly ends up with the final state. So if suppose a customer requires a product but the product is currently unavailable, then it is added to a wish list. So final state is going to be a collection of either the complaint being handled, or an object being added to a wish list, or the transaction having been done, or the product received. So this is it for the organization transaction system. And the next one is going to be to this is a hospital building management system. So the billing is done based on the ward or the ICU, the location and everything the patient is admitted to. So this is how it's gonna look. So okay, yeah, this is starting state, and the first state is going to be an appointment making. So the interaction is to be making an appointment, and then do is schedule an appointment with the doctor, and the exit is the exit state is going to be visiting a doctor. And so the next what happens is like when the patient gets a diagnosis, he moves on to the next state called diagnosis, and there he gets to meet the doctor, get a diagnosis and a prescription. So here the doctor can either choose to just send him off with medicines or can ask him to get admitted. So what happens is like this is based on the doctor's advice. So so the doctor can receive the interaction here for paying for a prescription is going to receive a prescription, and the do function is going to be paying for the medicine, and exit is when the patient receives the medicine and the receipt. So if the doctor suggests the patient gets admitted, then the entry process would be entry, admit, get admitted, and the entry action again. Yeah. The exit action is going to be to either getting assigned to a ward or an ICU. So here there comes a choice like either a ward or an ICU. So when the patient's condition is not that bad, then he gets admitted into a ward, or if the condition is critical or serious, then he gets admitted into an ICU. So here again we use synchronization because the ward shows that the patient could either be general ward or a special ward. This is purely based on the patient's preference. So if he gets a general ward, then the entry is going to be the bed number assigned, and the process is going to get being treated, and exit happens when the patient makes a payment. Same is going to be done with a special ward, and ICU again the same is going to be done, like the person is going to get admitted based on the location and his seriousness and everything, and then the process is going to be getting treated, and then exit is paying the bill. So what happens is like the patient has to make the payment one way or the other. Yeah. So what happens is like the entry is going to be get discharged, and the action done is to calculate the stay charge and the medical charge. So the staying charge and the medical charge is calculated based on either the patient spent his time in a ward or the ICU. So it also varies according to the ward, like either general ward or a special ward. And so basically the final state is when the patient receives the receipt and also the medicines. So yeah, this is it for my hospital building management system, and this is it for my state chart diagram. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys like the video.